GMGers and GMGettes, are you ready?
Countdown, 60 seconds to get ready for the Good Morning Gang morning show. It's time to get ready. Get your coffee, tea, trees, or whatever need be. Then put on your seatbelt. We're going on a journey. We'll discuss trending topics, music and breaking news to help get your morning right. Big Phil speaks, giving you his one-of-a-kind point of view. It's a GMG, and we're family. So as we count down to the start of the show, prepare for the unexpectedly. If you know, you know. Tell 1 to 7 of your friends to come in. Share your love for the show. We're about to begin. The GMG countdown.
Yeah, it's time to wake yourself up. It's the Good Morning Gang morning show. You feel me?
Good morning to you.
Looky, what do we have here? I don't know, probably the best morning show ever hit the atmosphere. Let's be clear, there's plenty others that do it B.I.G. But keeping it a buck though, none to get you up though like D&D. With all the news and real point of views you can use, light and heavy topics we peruse, even a laugh or two. What you talking? Good morning gang, be the issue. And take your friends and them, Ken and all, come on in, tune in. You ain't gonna want them mistaken. Even the trolls and haters, we end up being their favorite. Cause from 8 to 10 we get it in, believe that. I mean, from where else could you go when you were part of the show? Definitely GMG, cause when you show love, we show love back. First thing in the morning, we get you through, so after the yawning, wash up and wipe your face with your snacks and come on in, get comfy, but most importantly in all caps,
Good morning, gang, gang, yeah. Good morning to ye. It's your boy, Big Phil Speaks, back for another one. Special day, because you know I'm normally here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But I was compelled to come on this 20th day of August 2026, a Thursday even, to discuss some things, some topics. I said topics. Yes, indeed. Listen, if you're paying attention to this situation from any other place, Make sure you show your presence here on the good YouTube and let your boy know you in the building. You feel me? It's one of them ones. This one being episode 344 of them things. Where is the outrage? You hear me? Is there a purposeful silence keeping them from getting help? What am I talking about? Gary in Indiana. Oh, we gonna talk about it, huh? As of the day, 8 days, 9 days for some who have been without power, 10 days for others that have been without power. We gonna talk about it, you feel me? What's goody like the mob? Uptown Nelly Nell, my uptown homegirl, uptown Jay from around the way. She's in the building. I see you over there on the good IG music for God too. Good morning, darling. Yeah, this is definitely an extra one, You feel me? What's going on? Why can't I edit? I don't know. Maybe there's an update, Nelly Nail. I don't know. You said, why can't I edit? I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of update going on. You feel me? For those tapping in from the good IG, YNG, NIGGA, Moya State, Miss Ty Knight, Lawrence Maurice Williams, Huncho Jax, Rico Reed, Noah's Mommy, Juju Sinanye, Chalk 7191, Josanna, hopefully I'm saying that right. 14 Koichi, DJ Gemini, Miss Toys, Yale Street, my uptown homie, Joe Luke, Gerald, what's goody like the mob? Hilltop Cafe, I see you. Dia Capri, JT Idealist. Yeah, what's goody like the mob? Y'all come on over to the good YouTube. Why don't you, huh? Nelly Nell said, why can't she edit? I don't know what's going on. Listen, I expect for some people to be coming in, trickling in a little bit later than normal, because we not normally live on a good Thursday morning. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, but we going to have at it regardless. You feel me? How are you feeling, Nelly Nell? How are you doing, huh? Let me see. Da-da-da-da. Boop, bop, bam. Everything I suppose will be working for the greater good in a little bit. Yeah, I'm talking about. Good morning, DJ Gemini, coming in from ATL. What's goody like the mob? Make sure you come on over here to the good YouTube and subscribe if you would. Chalk 7191, is that you, Connie Baptiste? Come on over here to the good YouTube. You know where we at. Hey, my main man, what's up, my family, my homie, Hilltop Cafe. I appreciate you. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate you, homie, as usual. Let me know when you got the next promotion going on so I can put that out there in the atmosphere. And if I happen to be sliding around them uptown streets, make sure I come slide through and get one of them best fish sandwiches in Washington, D.C. You feel me? That part. Huh? Yay. I know it's Connie Baptiste. I know who it is. Come on over to that good YouTube. Why don't you? Charlie Hustle, what's goody like the mob? Uptown Jason, I'm here. Hey, Nelly Nell, Gerald is over on the good IG. You know what I'm talking about? Joe Luke. Part of that Webster Chords, yeah. Part of that Third and Upshur Originals, the Third and Upshur Originals, you feel me? Yeah, fish sandwich ain't nothing but the truth. Talk about it. You know I got to represent for the home team, huh? You know I got to represent for the home team. I put some stuff on my face, look like I got my face glistening too much. Can't be glistening, but so much. Can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Might cause a riot out here on these internet streets or in the real world. They say, oh, he 50-something and still glistening like a young buck. Pause. No diddy. Excuse me. Got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, a lot to talk about. Let me first put this out here, and I'm going to run it probably a couple of times. Let me say first and foremost, for Nolan Wells. I talked about Nolan Wells yesterday, but I forgot. I forgot to give that brother happy birthday wish. A happy birthday wish. So in light of that, I want to give a happy belated heavenly birthday to Nolan Wells. He turned 19 yesterday. You feel me? 19 years young. And unfortunately, he's not here. Now, there was a group of people that came together for something else that we'll talk about. Carmelo Anthony, a group of people, and they came together for one big photo and one big shout out for Nolan Wells' posthumous heavenly birthday or whatever the case may be. And I thought that was super duper dope. Y'all check this out real quick. Huh?
Happy birthday, Nolan!
The fact that they came together just to do that, to me, was hella dope. On top of that, those are all the people that showed up yesterday for the Carmelo Anthony motions hearing, in which they decided they're going to get John Roach, the judge, up out of there. They recused the judge that, you know, sat on the trial dealing with Carmelo Anthony, so we got him up out of there. Today is an even more important day. Because of the fact that today that young man's in court down there in Collin County, Texas, trying to get a new trial. Because of a couple things. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. So I'm going to keep it pushing. Who else then stepped in the building? Connie Baptiste, I see you. Music for God, too. Good morning, darling. I see you. Listen. It is sad, Nelly Nell. It is. But the fact that we can get together and show some love and support, you know, it don't always come out like that. And just to see it come to fruition like that, even in a young man's passing or whatever the case may be, I think is extra dope, or whatever the case may be. Do me the honor and favor, ladies and gentlemen, and tell a friend to bring that ass on in. Do me a favor and share this situation, repost or post it on your favorite social media outlets. Tag it to 1 to 7 of your good homies, your good girlfriends, your boo-boo bun thing, spouses, significant or insignificant other, even the haters and trolls, and let them know that the Good Morning Gang morning show is in the building, baby. And we about to have at it. You feel me? Like we always do about this time, baby. Listen, what else? Where am I going from here? Where do we go from here, my love? I think I want to go with this this first story right here. Do I want to do this one? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. These wasteful, calculated Bammers have opted against, one, servicing a need of people that could utilize the overages of fruit that's being produced. They would rather destroy it and wait for a number of years to allow them to replant the trees necessary to grow these peaches or whatever the case may be, instead of utilizing the crops that they have, the overages, to serve as a portion or a piece of the missing puzzle for feeding the needy, feeding the homeless, feeding the hungry. You know what I'm talking about? You wonder what I'm talking about? Y'all watch this real quick. It's a damn shame.
Now let me get this straight. They are going to spend $9 million to remove peach trees because there is usually an excess of peaches. So instead of giving these peaches away to schools, homeless shelters, etc., they would rather spend $9 million to remove the trees to not have excess peaches while there are people starving and hungry in America. These cannot be the same pro-life people that don't care whether or not people eat, knowing there are people hungry, but we're going to get rid of the peach tree. Help me out in the make this make sense. Can anybody make this make sense?
Somebody definitely need to make that make sense. You mean you gonna do away with and force croppers or farmers to get rid of a certain amount of trees and forbid them to replant them or replant replacements for 10 years. But you got people that are homeless out of here that are hungry. You got people that don't have enough money to facilitate a full valued meal. And peaches, the last time I heard was fruit, right? And everybody's talking about people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables, but they want to do away with that, right? Because of so-called overages. When we gonna start have overages of food so that people that are hungry and homeless can eat? You feel me? When we gonna start doing away with that? The only midnight, what's goody like the mob? Salute. I see you checking in from that good kick or whatever the case may be. Make sure you tap in only midnight over here on the good YouTube and subscribe to the channel if you would, my brother. Listen, for those that are coming in the door, do your boy a favor, hit that thumbs up. Boop, boop. While you at it, hit that subscribe if you haven't done so. And while you at it, hit that notification bell, something like this. So you be in the know whenever the Good Morning Gang morning show drops, especially on an off day like today. You would have got that notification. You hear me? Whenever Feel the Love Fridays drop, whenever the Tap In with Big Phil Speaks drops, or anything else that I put on this good Big Phil Speaks channel, you be amongst the first to know. You feel me? Yeah, what they gonna do with the old fella, old yella, that keeps it cool and mellow, huh? Listen, rest in heavenly peace, Nolan. That's a fact of mundo. That's a fact of mundo. How are y'all doing on this good Thursday morning, huh? It's gonna get busy later on today around my parts with the rain, and it's gonna be raining. Or whatever the case may be. But in the meantime, between time, we here. We gonna have at it, you feel me? Excuse me. Hopefully, I don't see that it's kicked in. Let me check the X. It ain't kicked in over on X yet. It don't seem like it. Let me see. The closer I get to you, the more you make me feel brand new. Ooh. Oh yeah, it's in there like swimwear. Okay, it's in there. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we gonna keep it moving, keep it grooving, so we can have at it. But yeah, that one sat uneasy with me. Sat uneasy in a climate to where there's homelessness, where there's hunger issues, where there's children with not enough to eat, even adults with not enough to eat, and you gonna tell me because there's overages on some damn peaches, you gonna throw all that away and make farmers uproot their crops or whatever the case may be, and then ban them from being able to replant for 10 years? You know how much can happen in 10 years and how things are going to change and how those farmers are going to fall back in 10 years. 20 Bandana, whoa, what's good? They like the mob. Good to see you in the building, huh? Good to see you. Excuse me. Hold up. When I roll up. I'm about to keep it pushing, though. I'm not going to stay stuck on that topic right there, though. I do want to talk about... Do I wait on that? I'm going to wait on that one. Till there's more people in the resume. For all my folks, for my peoples, my good peoples, today I want you all to pray even more earnestly than you did yesterday. If you decided to pray then for the young brother Carmelo Anthony, who's fighting for his life and or his freedom and liberty and for justice. He's going back to court today, ladies and gentlemen, to see if he can get a new trial. A new trial based on the grounds forgive me, based on the grounds of not having adequate representation, prosecutorial, alleged misconduct, alleged from the judge that was sitting on the bench, Judge John Roach, who has been recused from the case, who can't do no rulings or be a part of anything going forward with this case. That alone, if they found that he should be recused, that should be enough right there to raise all kinds of red flags on how he officiated with the trial. But who am I, right? I'm just on the outside looking in. I'm on the outside looking in. But this is what took place. The recusal was granted. What this means, Judge John Roach Jr. removed. New judge to handle the next stage. Senior Judge Sid Harley granted defense motion. Major legal development. What this does not mean, does not overturn Carmelo's conviction, does not automatically grant a new trial. Just so you know, the fight is not over. The next big question, will the new judge grant the request for a new trial? One step at a time. Follow for updates. We gonna keep you posted. You feel me? We gonna definitely keep you posted out here. Because it's a lot going on out here that nobody's safe from. Nobody's safe from. And here, this is episode 344 of them things. Where is the outrage? Where is the outrage, huh? That's it right there, Nelly Nail, huh? She said, justice. Let's get it. Justice for Carmelo Anthony. That's a fact of mundo. And understand, just because that's not your baby, just because that's not your child, just because that's not your... I ain't mean to do that. Shoot. Let me put that back right there. Just because that's not your family member doesn't mean that's not your family member. Does not mean that it won't or don't affect you and your family members. Huh? Don't wait till it meets you at your doorstep for it to become a thing for you to support, for you to jump on the bandwagon of disappointment and or anger or outrage. Don't wait till then, till it reaches your door. Do the humanly right thing now. Do the empathetic right thing now. You get what I'm saying? Before it visits you and your family and your door. And we not asking for no special privileges. We not asking for nothing special or out of the norm. What we are asking for is equal rights, equal justice. Huh? And I've said it before on my other shows, and other people have reported around these internet streets that there's been people that have done worse things in the crimes, same type of crimes he's convicted of, done worse and got less time. Less time. I mean, more calculated, more violent, more guilty of what they did and got way less time. The only difference is, I hate to say it, Carmelo Anthony being an African-American man, a black man. The other incidents have been people of other races and persuasions. We just want what everybody else wants for it to be the right thing done. And in this situation, how you gonna tell a young boy to not defend himself when surrounded by kids his age but bigger? How you gonna tell somebody not to defend themselves if they are in fright or in fear? How are you gonna tell somebody not to defend themselves when somebody put their hands on them? I think more is gonna come out to the open in this through this motion, and or if they do, God willing, grant this new trial, that more will come out as to the things that were hidden from our sights in the times past with the last trial, as to things that went on, evidence that was presented from both sides, that is, from both sides. And again, unfortunately, Austin Metcalf lost his life. Unfortunately. with all these questions, because I've heard a lot of people say, well, if only Carmelo Anthony would have acted this way or reacted this way or did this or ran there or did that. But I don't hear enough people saying, well, what if Austin Metcalf, rest in peace, would have did things differently, would have minded his damn business, would have went and got somebody of authority if he felt as though Carmelo Anthony shouldn't have been under that tent. What would have been different if him and his twin brother Hunter, would have minded their business, would not have accosted verbally and physically Carmelo Anthony? I know what would have happened. He would still be here today. He would still be here today, and Carmelo Anthony would definitely be free, wouldn't he? Huh? Especially when the Legion of Doom is coming at you, defend yourself at all costs. She took it back with the Legion of Doom, huh? That's a fact of Mundo. Yeah, hopefully things are more transparent during the trial now. Yes. First thing first, Charlie Hustle. Hopefully he's allowed to get that retrial. We're going to speak it into the atmosphere. It's already done. Carmelo Anthony's getting that new trial. I said it. Big Phil speaks. You hear me? CBS. What's goody like the mob? Yeah, back-to-back episodes. Hey now. Yes, indeed. What's goody like the mob? Those were some big-ass boys. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Some people said he should have just solely threw his hands or whatever the case may be. But y'all forgot he was injured. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell somebody not to defend themselves by any means necessary? You hear me? Hot Shot said, what's up, Hot Shot? What's goody like the mob? I don't get that. If they recused him, shouldn't his rulings be disqualified? I guess they're going to talk about that today, my brother. I think it's a process. It's just a process. The first thing was getting him recused. Now they're going to question his intent and how he sat over the trial and things that he allowed in, things that he didn't allow in, the way he admonished things, the way he cut off the public, the way he sealed certain evidence or whatever the case may be from the public or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think they're going to get into that today, brother. I really think they're going to get in that today. Yeah. But until then, we going to say free him till it's the other way around. You hear me? Free him till it's the other way around. That part, yeah. And he was alone. It was 3-4 of them. Yeah, get down however you need to come out on top. It's going to be me or you. I ain't going out. Hey, Nelly Nell, that's how we, Nelly Nell, you know that's how we gets down with the get down. You feel me? What? Yeah, understand something. If it's a difference between me and you, if it's up to like one of us, me or you, guess who walking off with that good Uptown DC bop from the situation? It's your boy, Big Phil Speaks. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get up out of that situation. You know what I'm saying? If it's in my will and I can have it my way to make it to the next day, guess what? I hate to say it. I might sound cold and calculated, but it's definitely going to be me, God willing, walking away from that situation. You feel me? Cotton Candy. What's up, Miss Kathy? Yes, indeed. It is a special edition. You know, I'm not usually here on Thursdays, but after listening to some things, I said, oh, I got to go live this morning. I got to. That's right. Free him. Yeah, because look, I'm not going out like, I'm not Superman. I ain't no cape on my back. But at the end of the day, I am a man, and I'm only a man. And one thing that we have ingrained in our DNA is the want and need to survive. The want and need to survive and thrive. So guess what? How you gonna tell that young man not to defend himself? How you gonna tell him how to defend himself? If the shoes were on the other foot and they were black dudes and Carmelo Anthony was a white dude, I'm pretty sure he would have walked expeditiously. He might not even have been charged with any crime, especially down in a state like Texas. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Make it make sense, huh? Did the judge really pass? What you mean pass? He didn't pass like die, if that's what you mean. The judge was put off the case, though. He was recused from the case yesterday at a motions hearing yesterday, Kathy. If that's what you were asking, I'm not sure, but if that's what you was asking, that's exactly what it is, whatever the case may be. Y'all make sure y'all share this situation, repost it on X, on Instagram, on Kick, on IG, on Facebook, wherever you come across this, reshare this, repost this, tell 1 to 7 of your good peoples to come holler. You hear me? Yes, indeed. Make sure I got this together, huh? Oh, okay. Okay. I was making sure everything was goody like the mob. You feel me? Okay. Boom. Anyway, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tapping in and tuning in. Those that are peeking openly and those that are peeking from the cut. Pause. This is a special edition because, normally I'm only here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But there's a lot going on. There's an area of our country, a section or sector of our people that are going through it, that have been without power for 8+ days now. 8+ days. And it's not getting enough news. It's not getting enough buzz. It's not getting enough of us power to get the information out there, which is one of the reasons why I'm putting together something that will allow things like this, missing people, the political parties that we should support, as well as business owners, entrepreneurs, artists, singers, rappers, producers, clothing companies, you name it, to be able to get grassroots promotion that makes sense from corporately done, that makes sense, that doesn't break nobody's budget, that is damn near free when you look at, one, the scope of how it's going to be put together, and two, the possibilities, and three, it's going to be done from a community base, meaning it won't just be your hands on the ground or your personal team on the ground or virtually promoting you, but there will be other like-minded individuals that want to see you win promoting you. Y'all stay tuned for that. I will announce more about that soon. The infrastructure is being put in place as we speak. And I don't care if anybody try to copy what I'm doing or try to mimic what I'm doing. If it's something that's going to help us win, have at it. However, this situation is going to be something very influential and very, I believe, groundbreaking for us, or whatever the case may be. Time to code. Good morning to ye. Good morning. Keisha Hall can have herself a ball if her assets are in order. She's in the building. Peep Scheme. Wagwan brethren. Yes. I know y'all like, what is he doing live today? Keisha Hall, time to code. Peep Scheme. Yeah, I'm here. Seems like an empty victory. He was off the case after sentencing. New trial, overturned ruling should have been the outcome. They have to use the recusal as evidence of a need for a retrial. As one of the means, it's the first step. Because he's technically not off the case after sentencing, especially when motions are put in place, especially when the first round of motions are put in place. He was definitely not removed from the case in the way he had it set up. Everything needed to go through him. Hot shot. So he was trying to make a way so that, yeah, okay, y'all not gonna tarnish my record. I said what's gonna go on, and this is the way I want to carry it, or whatever the case may be. Somebody made a great point. They said that infamous interview that they utilized in the recusal motion. where he sat down and talked to a reporter and said all the things that opened people's eyes and had people like, what the hell's going on? They said that he did that interview to show his cronies, to show his friends from that area in Collin County where they live and were, buddy pal, good old boy, and that he was down with the cause or whatever the case may be. Down with the cause. He still had rulings over motion. Yeah. So they had to get him up out of there, Hotshot. They had to get him up out of there. That's a fact. Matter of fact, I should have shared that one first, then this one. That's a fact. The Mundo, huh? But yeah, y'all make sure y'all keep Carmelo Anthony in your prayers. In your prayers. Listen, because where there's 2 or 3 or more that can agree, touch and agree. And even though we can't physically touch, we can mentally and spiritually touch and agree that minimally that brother needs a new trial ASAP like Rocky. 1. 2, that the real justice be served. 3, if you know like I know, he need to be free. 4, that if they do allow him to have a free trial, that they let him get back outside until that trial is done, or that they grant him a bond in the interim so that the people can come together and get their brother out on the streets or whatever the case may be. That's it right there, Connie Baptiste. Free Carmelo. And happy belated posthumous heavenly birthday to Nolan Wells. You feel me? Now that we got a couple more people in the building, I'm going to move forward with the move forward. Listen. Fellas, I was going to say this for Feel the Love Fridays, but I think this warrants a Good Morning Gang early morning showing or whatever the case may be. Sometimes, fellas, it's cheaper to keep her. Sometimes, fellas, it's cheaper to stay loyal, to be honest, to be truthful, to be faithful. And you damn sure don't want to get caught up and caught out there like this Bama here. What am I talking about? Watch this bullshittery. I was like, this knuckle fell right for the okie doke. Huh?
Okay, baby, make sure you have a safe trip.
All right, boo, love you.
I love you.
I'm gonna call you when I land.
Okay, you got your keys?
Yep.
You got your wallet?
Check.
You got your condoms?
On deck.
This is the end.
The Bama flicked this box of rubbers out there like, yeah, I'm ready. And she had the good old belt on standby for him. I said, Lord, have mercy. When I seen that, I was like, no. I know some of y'all would have failed for that, but some of y'all would have been caught up in that. Y'all would have been proud with it. Yeah, I got the big box, the 12 box. And some of y'all Bammers would have went and got that 30 box of them good magnums, huh? Yeah. Look, Nelly Nail said, trip canceled ASAP. Like, Rocket, go take your bags right the hell on back upstairs, Slim. You are not going, you going to home jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 and throw them damn condoms in the damn trash. You ain't enjoying Nathan, huh? He looked like he had the 12 pack or whatever the case may be. But yeah, some of y'all would have had the 30 piece and would have pulled that out like, yeah, the big box. I'm ready. And would have got yourself in a world of trouble, huh? Fellas, it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep a dog. Listen, huh? We getting too old to be wanting to prove how much we got it, or we can book as many girls we want to, be wanting to lay up and stick and move, with as many women as possible. Fellas, we getting too old for that, huh? Too old for that. Nasty MFs don't believe in condoms no more anyway. Factor Mundo. Listen. Don't get caught up out there. If you get you a good one, stick and stay. A lot of times the things that y'all go through with these, with your men and with your women, I'm talking to everybody now, be minuscule. Minuscule opposed to you out here surfing and fishing through all the muck and mire, trying to date this one, and all these ones, and try to make yourself look bigger than life, or like you lit, or whatever the case may be. And We ain't gonna mention the packages that you could pick up that you don't want to pick up that you won't be able to put down, huh? You don't want to mention that at all, huh? So on the one hand, I get the being safe. But that fun dummies came out of pocket with the good boxer. She got the, oh yeah. She get to swinging like a mother angry at their child that done did something wrong at school. Wop, 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 wop. Listen, I'm going to keep it pushing. But fellas, do right by your ladies. Ladies, do right by your men, huh? No return to sender factor motto. And I'm going to play that again. Right, larger than life. I'm going to play that again for those of y'all in the background that didn't get to see what it was, huh? I'm going to play it again just one time for the one time. Damn it, Jim.
Okay, baby, make sure you have a safe trip.
All right, boo, good.
I love
I'm
you.
gonna call you when I land.
Okay, you got your keys?
Yep.
You got your wallet?
Check.
You got your condoms?
On deck.
This is the end.
He said, ah! You know you done effed up, right? You know you done effed up. Listen, have at it. Have at it. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I just had to, I bit my tongue, excuse me. I just had to show that one though. I was like, Lord, have mercy. Now, I got a question. And maybe somebody can help me. Now, there's a couple people watching that are from DC, that are from my area, whatever the case may be. And this video happened in my area, in DC. I ain't never heard of no bullshit like this a day in my life. Excuse my English. But secondly, they didn't have no paperwork that they had them sign off on. So I'm like, how the hell you can just summarily be trespassed, excuse me, from the court building, from the Superior Court, which is the court for DC citizens when they go to traffic, criminal court, or whatever the case may be, outside of going to federal court, which is right around the corner from that joint. How the hell could you get trespassed from going to Superior Court? Y'all watch this video, right? And these damn Gestapo looking ass mayonnaise men that look like they shouldn't be in the city know how was bringing the ruckus. Y'all check this out. Let me know what y'all think, please.
Just want to let you know if you try to come back into this building, you're going to be under arrest.
I'm waiting on the police. I called the police because I never seen this. Me being barred from the court building.
I guess you caused some trouble in a courtroom.
Nah, no, I don't call. Nobody comes to the DC court building and cause trouble, big guy. That's the dumbest thing in the fucking world you could do.
Well, apparently you did.
Nah. Apparently you bleed blue, and I ain't really trying to keep talking to you, big guy. You already biased.
Okay, well, this is our building, so.
This is not your building, big guy. You just been here a couple years tops.
I'm telling you now.
This is not your court.
If you try to come back in here.
When you say this is our court building, who is our court building? When you say our, who is our?
The government.
Look, I see 3 white guys in Chocolate City, Washington, D.C. It's 500 Indiana Avenue, and it's like you're saying that I'm not allowed to. You say I can't come into where?
They've trespassed you from the courthouse.
Have you ever heard of anyone in Washington, D.C. being trespassed from the court building?
Look, bro,
Give me the case.
Hey, look, you need to leave off property, okay?
I'm waiting on the police. I called the police. I'm waiting on the police, big guy.
So next time you come in here, you're going to get arrested, all right? That's it. All right? You understand that?
You like the guy on Family Guy, the son.
Did you understand that?
Understand what?
That if you come in here again, you're going to be arrested.
So that means I can never have a court case.
That's a yes or no question.
No, that means I can never have a court case.
No,
then, right?
that's a yes or no question.
You can't have a court case and not show up.
Okay, so that's a yes. So next time you come in
No,
here,
that's not a yes. I'm asking you to be specific.
Okay, cool.
Don't be facetious, dickhead. I'm asking you a question. So if I have cases and you, what is your name, by the way?
I don't have a name. Don't worry about it. If you have a case and
you cannot do that in Washington, D.C. I asked you guys you can't say you can't identify yourself?
No, I'm talking about fucking name to you.
And you're not telling your fucking name to me either, right, white guy? No. You either?
Nope. You understand though, right? If you walk back in here,
I don't.
Okay.
Once you don't identify yourself, I can say you suck my.
You heard he was saying that he was good before it cut off. He was like SMD. Now the Bama ass shiggity. Now if they gonna trespass somebody, don't they got to fill out some paperwork and get his ID and clearly give him a copy of said trespass order. Doesn't that have to happen? I know that happens in damn near every state, if not all states, or whatever the case may be. Them Bamas right there, I guess they were representing themselves as U.S. Marshals, because outside of D.C. police, U.S. Marshals are usually in that court building. We don't have sheriffs in D.C. For those that did not know or don't know. We don't have a sheriff department, and we don't have sheriffs in DC. We have U.S. Marshals that act as the bailiffs, that act as the staff that oversee the people that are coming from jails or that are locked up waiting to go and see to their court date or whatever the case may be. But what I don't know what the young man did or what he said or what happened. However, what he said rings true. Like, how you going to forbid somebody to go to their own court date? It's impossible. It's impossible. Impossible. Yeah, my fault. I was about to say they just randomly pick someone to F with. How do they know who he is to ban him? That's a fact. Now, I know through technology, they probably got a thing and scanned him or whatever and maybe put him in a database and got his picture, possibly. But they have to give him some literature. They have to give him a piece of paper that says you are trespassed from this, Now, for the life of me, in all the years that I spent in D.C., I ain't never heard of nobody being trespassed from D.C. Superior Court. On top of it, there's been fights inside the court building, outside the court building, and I've never heard of nobody being trespassed from the court. And them Bammers come outside. You understand what we said? Nah, what you mean? Show me some documentation. Then the Bammers say, "Oh, we don't have to give you our names." Who the man? Then I don't have to acknowledge you and what you said. Because if you're not telling me who you are, that means them badges could have came from off of Amazon or Temu or some damn where, huh? No badge number, no nothing. I'm officer whoop-de-whoop. Yeah, none of that. But he said that Bama looked like what's going on. I said, oh, damn it, Jim. Yeah, just intimidation. That's why I'm like, what? I said, I got to reach out to some people that got some understanding of DC like I do. And I was like, I ain't never heard of no Bama shiggity like that. Never. But maybe I got it wrong. So I'm like, maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe, Phil, yeah, it's been a minute since you dealt with them courts. Shit done changed. And so I don't know. So I had to ask you all. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly, whether I'm too loud or if I'm crisp. If you can hear me decently or good, hit me with a 100, a thumbs up, or a fire emoji in the comments if you would, huh? Excuse me, if you would, if you could, I'd have been living too. Like, hold up, Slim. What you're not gonna do is give me a warrant, because if you give me a warrant, I got to come through that door the other way around anyway. By me not being able to get to my traffic hand or my criminal hand or whatever the case may be, because you say I've been trespassed at 500 Indiana Avenue, which is the address for DC Superior Court. Ain't no way. Now, let me ask you this. Now, maybe people could say they've heard of it happening in their locales, in any other city or state, for the people that are watching and tuning in. Or if you come by this video later on after this live, can you drop in the comments whether or not you've heard of anybody being trespassed from a courthouse? Trespass, meaning you can no longer come on the property, come into the establishment, be in the proximity of the, Have you ever, in your young or old years, have you ever heard of anybody trespassed from a court building? I've never heard of that. And I've seen some testy things from other locales outside of the court buildings and on court grounds and all the things or whatever the case may be. To me, that definitely seems unconstitutional. definitely seems unconstitutional. And I'm gonna reach out to some people that I know that are in government and or law enforcement and find out is if there's some validity to that situation or whatever the case may be. Because they, like Hot Shot, they probably could have just been intimidating that Bama. They probably just wanted him to leave that day or whatever. Like I said, I don't know the backstory, what took place inside there. I know unless they change the setup, when you come through the doors, there's metal detectors right there. Once you come through the metal detectors, information is off to that side, to my left. Unless they change things, there's an escalator right there, right further in front of you. You go up the escalator to go to the second floor, whatever the case may be. There's corridors on the other side of information going both ways where they got courtrooms there, or you can go up the escalator or go and hit the elevator, hit the second floor and go to courtrooms up and down there, and they got other courtrooms and whatnot. No one randomly goes to the courthouse just to be in the presence of the law. Now that's a fact. That's a fact. Hey, Nelly Dale, I've told this story before, but Wayne and them father, Sean and them father, JoJo, tried to get us to be up in the police liaison room to go gamble with them Bammers. And I was like, hell no. I didn't, did a couple of the car parties at the house, at JoJo house. But I said, hell no, I ain't sitting up in no damn police. He said, hey, come on, big fella. Come on now. You good, you with me. You know how JoJo used to talk. And this was before I was big Phil. He'd be like, big boy. He tried to get us to go into the police. Even Wayne was like, nah, Dad, wanted us to go up in the police liaison room, which I think was on the second floor in the DC Superior Court. And for those who don't know what the police liaison room is, it's like a lounge area for police that are there with different cases that they gonna be going to various courts, but it's their own chill spot where they can chill, kick it, or whatever the case may be. Not the cafeteria and not where the public sits along the out in the hallways to wait on cases, but they own little lounge room or whatever the case may be. And back then they used to gamble up in that joint and everything else. And Joe, big boy, you with me? You with me? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna be able to do that one. That's too much. Look, it's one thing coming to your house and these police bammers coming over and I take their money. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But it's another thing going up in the court building, mind you, and then going into the police liaison, how that's going to look, how the optics going to look for the homies or anybody that happen to be down in the court building and see Big Phil just lollygagging, UPT Diddy bopping, pause, no Diddy, walking up into the police liaison room. How I'm supposed to explain that one? That's going to look like I'm hotter than fish grease. Ain't no way. Hey, JoJo, you bugging. And then he would laugh. He would laugh about it. I'm like, nah, I'm sorry. I don't need the money that bad. Listen, I miss out because I'm not going up in the police liaison room. And Wayne was like, man, listen. Excuse me. R.I.P. Continue to rest in peace, JoJo, Detective Sergeant. Joseph Thomas, I'm talking about, yeah. It's a government building, but it's a public building. If they could trespass people, they would trespass the reporters. They don't be wanting around, would trespass the people that lauder high profile. Facts. That's what I'm thinking, Hot Shot. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Just wake up and say, let me go down to the courthouse today and see what I can get into. Man, please. I was down that damn DC Superior Court so damn much, I don't ever want to see the inside of that some of them have been ever again. You hear me? That one big case I had was enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want, listen, Central Cell Block and all that. I ain't want to be around none of that. Hold up, let me see something. Sorry about that, y'all. Give me un momento, por favor. Hold on, y'all. Uh-oh. Anywho, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. And Nelly Nell know exactly who I'm talking about too. Big boy. But yeah, I could never listen. I was too much outside. No. That's all I would need. Somebody see me going up in that joint too. They be like, "Oh, Big Phil snitching. He hot." We didn't normally say snitching. We was like, "Hey, hot." They be like, "Big Phil hot," and I probably would have. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might not have met me. So I was like, I can't do it. But yeah, anybody else got any input on that? Have you in your city, state, town, locale, have you ever heard of anybody being trespassed from a courthouse? I ain't never heard no bullshittery like that ever in my life, ever. But only in my city. And then he said, "Look at look how he was talking. He was like, look at these Bammers in Chocolate City." Trying to regulate or whatever the case may be. They looked out of place. They looked like they shouldn't even have been down there. They look like they definitely shouldn't have been down there. And they come like a little gang or whatever the case may be. Like, yeah, you heard us? You understand? No, I don't understand. Huh? Put it in writing. Put it on paper. Huh? How you gonna know it's me when I come in that joint? Huh? You ain't got my ID, you Bama ass. No. I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna move on or whatever the case may be. The next step from this is stepping from D.C., outside of D.C. and the VA down to Herndon, Virginia, stepping from the U.S. Marshals to these federales that's a part of the ICE. The Gestapo's known as ICE, and this Bama shiggery that I seen. Y'all be on the lookout for this Bama shiggery. You hear about things like this when it come to special vice investigations, the undercover investigations, when they trying to get at either gang organizations or drug organizations or things of that nature. But y'all watch this Bama being slick, but caught on a ring camera, and what he doing, huh? Let this serve as a notice, huh? Oh, matter of fact, hold on. Before I do that, oops, let me rewind the tape. I forgot to give the damn warning. I stepped ahead of myself. Let me give my warnings. Then we're going to get back to that. Warning. Huh?
Warning. Federal law, Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107 allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted material under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. Fair use allows for the quoting of copyrighted material in the creation of a new work for purposes included but not limited to criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. Fair use preserves the free flow of culture, baby. That part.
Now that I got that out of the way, especially with this video about the show, y'all watch this video and watch these sucker Bammers. I'll let you see it for yourself. This is the Good Morning Gang Morning Show. Special edition Thursday, that is. Huh? Chud the Builder looking ass Bama out there sneakily putting a tracking device up under the pickup truck of somebody. I don't know if that's a contractor's truck. I don't know if that's a worker's truck, but they probably doing that to facilitate them following that vehicle to a location where they know is going to be some immigrants or some undocumented or some documented immigrants that they still want to get up out of here, whatever the case may be. That's the wickedness right there. Yeah, Cotton Candy. A damn tracker. Yeah, mid-show warning, CBS. My bad. Listen, some things you need a warning, huh? Let them know fair use is in full effect. You hear me? And everything is an allegation until proven otherwise. You hear me? I don't want no lawsuits. You hear me? But yeah, you see that? And if it wasn't for the ring camera, it wouldn't have never been caught. And the Bama looked guilty. He just looked around. But didn't he look like Chud the Dud? Didn't he look like Chud the Dud? But that's effed up. It's like they utilizing that person. Like I said, I don't know if that's a contractor or a worker. And they're using that person to lead them to other either undocumented or documented immigrants or citizens so they can round them up. And that's in Herndon, Virginia. Still part of the DMV area or the Washington, D.C. area. Actually, not too far from the International Airport of Dulles, the IAD, in Sterling, Virginia, or whatever the case may be. But I think that's so foul. I think that, and I wonder if that person has a lawsuit. The person whose vehicle that was, I wonder if they have a lawsuit, because what piece of paper did you get that says you can attach a tracking device to my vehicle without my permission, and I'm not the subject of no criminal activity and or investigation? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. And I hope somebody take that video and blow it up and blow up that person's face, that officer or agent or whoever the hell he is, his face, so he can go all across these internet streets or whatever the case may be, so they can take him out of active duty and put him behind a desk some damn where. Sit your Bama ass down, try to set people up, huh? Setting people up for the sake of locking them up under this ICE bullshittery, which leads me to this next video, ladies and gentlemen, This man is breaking down by what he's seen inside ICE detention center, huh? It's trigger warning. Warning. This might hit you a little something different. Y'all pay attention, huh? You've been warned.
I don't know what to do. There's no way I can help every single one of those people in there. There's over 2,000 people. Just recently they had like 67 people come in. They had to make room. They're transferring people around so that these people can't even fucking see their families and friends. They're purposely trying to break them down. There's so many people in there whose mental health is deteriorating so fast because they don't have anyone coming to visit them. And then they purposely move them around to different states so that they cannot have anyone visit them. And it's just impossible that we can affect and help every single one of these people. I don't know what to do because every second I'm there, all I want to do is just fucking dismantle that building. It makes me so fucking mad being there. And at the same time, I'm trying to keep it together for all these people because they're trying to keep it together in there. And I don't want to break down when they're trying to keep it together, when they're trying to be strong because they have nowhere else to go. One people, 3 people, 10 people, it's not enough. We need more people. And I get it, it's 2 hours away, it's a lot of time. Meeting with them takes an hour. They purposely waste your time. I got there by 8 o'clock, hoping to get there in at 8 o'clock. I didn't even get in until almost 9:30. They waste your time on purpose to demoralize you from coming. And it's so fucking obvious that the whole thing is just a fucking money trap for Trump and his fucking evil ass fucking friends to make money off of human lives and suffering. And the majority of people in there didn't do a single wrong. There is a whole building full of people with no fucking criminal record because they didn't do anything wrong. I need help. Those people need your help, and I can't do this. We can't do this on our own. Please. Please.
And I get it. It might sound funny. It might be funny to some people. But just imagine if that was your folks in one of them detention centers. Just imagine if that was you and your job was tasked with helping those people and you weren't allowed to do such, or you couldn't adequately do such, or that the amount of people that need to be helped is so overwhelming and the conditions are so jacked up and it just tears at your heart. Then the jokes that you would laugh about him crying wouldn't be jokes anymore. Then your heart it'll start tugging at your heart and your spirit like, this ain't right. This ain't right. It's a damn shame. A damn shame. Just know that we are in some unsettling times with a lot of the things that are going on. I pray to God that they are allowed to have a normal voting process and that they get that Bama the hell up out of here, and that a lot of these situations that have been pulled and put in place are dismantled. I'm hoping that. Creole Cupcake, thank you for the gift. Thank you for the jewels. I hope that the situation is reversed, done away with, because these are some ugly times in U.S. history. Is it the most ugly or heinous time of U.S. history? No, but definitely some ugly times indeed. And I know some people feel this way, that way, or all kinds of ways when it comes to immigration and whatnot. But a lot of people don't realize, if they do their due diligence, no matter what color of persuasion you are, everybody came here as an immigrant, either legally or illegally, or stolen and brought here in chains. Nobody, for the most part, nobody was from this soil here. For the most part, there were people here. But a lot of these people that work at these police departments, at these law enforcement agencies, that are government officials, were indeed them, their parents, or their grandparents, or great-grandparents, immigrants. And some didn't come legally either. But you don't hear nobody talking about get them up out of there, send them away from here, and the thumb at the nose and the salt in the wound, or the finger in the wound, is the fact that while they were talking about getting people up out of here that were illegal aliens, they made special cases for white South Africans to come to America and be on this soil, because supposedly of how they've been treated over in South Africa. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Jose, what's goody like the mob said, my ex saying she pregnant. I blocked her on everything. She probably, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what you talking about there. Listen. No. I'm talking about the bigger scope of things. I get what you're saying, Hot Shot. But what I'm saying is, the very people that hold these positions, that are making these laws, 9.5 out of 10 of them come from ancestry that came here either illegally or made a way to get here as an immigrant, running from something or wanting a better life for them and their family. And the audacity of them to turn their nose up and feel away about other people doing the exact same thing. I ain't talking about criminals. I ain't talking about people flooding the borders that got crimes and or ill intent or whatever the case may be. But I'm just talking about good people that just come in for a different way of life and or to feed their families here and abroad or whatever the case may be. I could never look down on somebody for wanting more or wanting better. I could never do that. Never. But here we are. We in a country where we won't even take care of our own for real, for real. So what am I expecting? I just think that when they made special allowances for those white South Africans to come here in the midst of rounding up, locking people up of darker persuasions from brown to black under the guise of deportation under immigration laws or whatever the case may be. And like the fella in the clip said, a lot of people they're arresting don't have no criminal backgrounds at all and ain't committing crimes. Because remember when they first start talking about this, they said they were going after the gangs and the criminals. The gangs and the criminals. No, they're going at any and everybody. That's the crazy part about it. Putting them in subhuman conditions. Talks of people being sexually assaulted, molested, and getting pregnant in these detention centers by these Bama ass ICE agents. I hope that the midterm do what it do, and I hope that the next president, the next full election goes how it need to go, and I hope that they rescind, do away with, abolish, roll back, and repair some of the things that have been undone and done in this administration. But I'm going to leave that alone and I'm going to keep it pushing. This country has a history that seems to keep getting forgotten by certain groups of people around election time, and this is what we get. Aha! That's a fact of Mundo. I'm gonna keep it pushing, but I had to push that out there. I had to put that out there for you all to see, or whatever the case may be. Speaking of law enforcement, from the court to people putting tracking devices on the cars, I seen this video. I said, Lord have mercy. For those of y'all that got paper, manana and things, you're going to have to be careful and mindful of how you moving it. They say now these cameras can see into your vehicles and see that you got a rack of money being traced through them blue strips in them Benjamins. There's a technology in them blue strips in your Benjamins that allow them to see when you got a large amount of money in your vehicle when you go through the toll booths. I said it, the toll booths. Y'all pay attention to this. We're going to chop it up, huh? It's Big Phil Speaks. And this is the Good Morning Gang Morning Show, special edition, huh?
So I would set everything up. Don't go through a toll booth because the toll booths have a blue band reader on them and they can tell that you have 100 grand in cash. You have to go around the toll booth because I've had guys get pulled over from going through the toll booth with cash and they'll say, where are those $1,500, $100 bills that you went through the toll booth?
Toll booths can read cash like that?
Blue band, the new $100 blue bands. Yeah, 100%.
What?
100%.
There's no way.
100%. Yeah.
You roll through a toll booth with a large amount of cash, they can scan that?
It notifies them. It doesn't only scan it, it notifies them.
I've never heard this before.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
This is legit?
This is 100% legit.
I've never heard this before.
I had a guy get pulled over coming from New Hampshire to Maine, and there's certain toll booths. It's one of the newer ones. He rolls through it, and it was like half a mile later. He gets pulled over. Cop pulls in, and he goes, "Where's the money?" And he goes, "You have whatever it was. It was like $100 bills at least in this car." And the guy goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, you rolled through the toll." And he's like, "Okay." And then luckily on the side, he was an electrician and just pulled all of his money out of a New Hampshire bank. And he was like, here's my bank statement. I just withdrew all this I'm moving to Maine. It happened to be one of those things where it was shit luck, because there was definitely weed money in there for sure.
Mike 313, what up, dog? What's goody like the mob? Can you believe that? All you money movers and groovers that's rolling around like tires, be careful, especially if you're going up and down the highways and not the byways. And they got the tolls going on. You ain't got to believe nothing I said. You ain't got to believe what the Bama just said. Do your due diligence, research all things that come across my desk, your desk, whatever the case may be. It's better safe than sorry. And if you are moving a large amount of cash, make sure you got them bank receipts showing where you got it from, where you withdrew it from, and all the things. Because that'll be your ass, Mr. Postman, because they damn sure will confiscate it and or possibly try to put a case on you. Is it illegal to have money now? Ain't supposed to be, Charlie Hustle. But what they will do is try to make you prove that you own it rightfully. What they will do is try to prove that you own it rightfully. To me, is a money grab, because like he said at the end of it, it's people moving weed money and other drug money and things of that nature. And a lot of people gonna let that go. A lot of people gonna let them confiscate it, and a lot of them they gonna try to move around from it and let them have it. And they count on that. They do it already in these streets, in these inner cities and suburban streets. If you got money on it, sometimes they confiscate it under the suspicion that it could be tied to drug activity under certain state laws. So just make sure you got your documentation for your situation if you have to be moving around with some money of that caliber. Because these Bammers is not playing fair out here. They are not playing fair. And you damn sure don't want to come up off 100,000. I don't care if you're a millionaire, multi-millionaire. You still don't want to come off 100,000. Wow. Not to these Bammers. No. But have at it though, right? Have at it. I'm going to keep pushing, keep moving around. Excuse me. For those that are just coming in, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give y'all a peek of what I showed people earlier. The people that came out to support Carmelo Anthony yesterday, most of which, if not all of which, and even more so, will be out there today. His hearing should be taking place probably in another hour or so, or starting in another hour or so, to see if he can be granted a new trial. But also they took a big group flick and video, but they also gave a shout out and a posthumous heavenly birthday shout out to Nolan Wells, who would have turned 19 yesterday, huh? Y'all check this out real quick. Shout out to the people that showed up for us.
Happy birthday,
Yeah, that part, huh? Please don't think the confiscation stopping at the cash. Oh, trust me, I know. Trust me, I know, Hot Shot. That's a fact of mundo. And I've always, because back in the day, especially in the crack era, they implemented things that if you showed too much cash, because they were trying to stop people from bringing bags of money to these dealerships and just driving off the lots in new foreigns and stuff like that or whatever, that it started to alert the feds or whatever the case may be and started an investigation into. I've always kept that mindset so that as I moved and grooved and grown older, and have grown older, it always amazed me that all these people be on internet with these money phones and money's down their arm and showing all this money or whatever the case may be, like there are not no federales watching. At some point, start investigating your ass for where all this money coming from, what he got going on, what she got going on. I've always thought about that, and I was like, I know they didn't fall back from what they was doing when back then. So, and I know technology is even better and greater now. So I'm like, what's going on that you don't hear of a lot more people getting dealt with because they showing all kinds of assets and things that they can't legally prove that they should have or whatever the case may be. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Emotional but awkward, man. Listen. I'm moving on, ladies and gentlemen. For those that are tapping and tuning in, this is episode 344 of them things. Where is the outrage? Is there purposeful silence keeping them from getting help? We about to talk about it. Come get that house, car, and dog. Say it all came illegally. You hear me? That's a fact of Mundo. These next sets of videos pertain to a current travesty that's going on. There was a storm that came through Gary, Indiana. I believe it's East Illinois or whatever the case may be as well. Parts of Illinois, but Gary, Indiana specifically, and wreaked havoc so much that it knocked out the power in Gary, Indiana and surrounding area. And they said that they only have one power company in that area called NIPSCO, and that one, they haven't been able to bring the power back online for over 8 days now. There's thousands of people that have been out of power for over 8 days now. That means wasted food. That means extreme heat and conditions, or whatever the case may be, unsanitary situations, or whatever the case may be, not being able to charge your phones up for those that don't got generators and things of that nature. It means a whole lot. They said that when allegedly, when a truck came to try to work on the situation, that the truck was shot at, allegedly. Now, who did the shooting and why? Things that make you go, I don't know. But what I do know is 8 days, 7 days, 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, whatever the case, one day without power is too much. 8 days, though, 9 days is ridiculous. And not enough is being said about it. Not enough is being promoted about it. Not enough is being done about it. And as I said earlier, I'm putting together a situation, a program that will be able to benefit people in tragedies like these, missing people alerts, political parties that we need to support. What else? Business owners, entrepreneurs, rappers, singers, producers, clothing brands, etc. To be able to promote them on grassroots levels at a very minuscule amount. That more than that, definitely at the cost, minimal, damn near next to nothing, but at such a way that somebody's team wouldn't be able to facilitate, getting tongue twisted, wouldn't be able to facilitate doing it on their own, doing it from a community-based situation, a corporate-based situation, or whatever the case may be. A win-win for all. You know how I always talk about I want to see everybody win? This is putting that into play and putting that into action. And I already said it earlier. I know there's people listening that's going to want to copy the style, copy the flow, and all the things. Cool. But you're not going to be able to copy the infrastructure until I lay it all the way out. You can think on it and put your own twist to it. Cool, I don't mind, or whatever the case may be. But in this situation, y'all stay tuned. I'm going to have at it very shortly. It's already being implemented and put in place as we speak, or whatever the case may be. Like I told you, I'm working this year. But more importantly, getting back to why I went into that spiel, that side note, got some videos for y'all detailing some of the situations that are going on in Gary, Indiana and surrounding areas. We'll go video by video. Check this first one out if you would, huh?
Look at this pitch. Everyone's like, oh, how dark is it? How dark is it in Gary, Indiana, right? This is how dark it is. This is a fucking residential street. That's crazy. And it's like that for miles. It's like that in every fucking direction. Everywhere you look is like that. Except for the small areas that have power. everywhere you look, it's pitch black fucking dark. That's crazy.
That was on day 6. Day 6 of the area. There are certain places that people have generators or whatever the case may be. Certain pockets of areas that still have power, but generally there's hundreds of thousands of people without power and have been without power. Mike 313 said in 2003 we was without power for a week in the Midwest blackout. That's terrible. That is terrible. City-owned truck shot at with no investigation. I call BS. Things that make you go, Things that make you go, Very sad, Charlie Hustle. Very sad indeed. Very sad indeed, huh? This next video, I like this brother's takes. This brother's takes on things or whatever the case may be. Y'all check this out, huh? We call BS. We do, don't we? We call BS.
Hold on, wait. What's going on in Indiana? They haven't had no power in 8 days.
How dark, one might ask? Well, let me show you. This is how dark it is. And I also have no signal, so that's great. Now, before I go outside of my car and make sure my fucking doors are locked, because again, people are breaking into cars, houses, and stealing whatever they can get their fucking hands on, I'm gonna make sure I have batteries in my flashlight.
Man, this shit getting wicked. Northwest Indiana in a blackout right now. They only have one power company out there called NIPSCO. Allegedly, correct me if I'm wrong, if you in Indiana. Said that somebody got the pew-pewing at the truck. Nobody got hit, nobody got injured. That was the whole reason why they caused this whole little power outage. Don't smell right to me. Real movie life type shit. They said people was running to people's house, robbing and stealing their generators, stealing their gas out their cars. And my thing is, if it can happen over there, you don't think it can happen in your state? We gotta get ready, man. I think some bullshit going on. Get your food, get your water, get your armor, walkie-talkies, get safe with your family. Just don't be a fool when it's too late. Get this, y'all. It's 3 cities that's in the Northwest Indiana. The majority is black or Latino. And those the ones who's getting it worse. Then they have released this list and timeline on when they're going to restore the power back. But it's no Hammond, no Gary, Indiana. There's no East Chicago up there. But you got all these white cities.
They prioritize in the white areas. You see that? Listen, we're going to keep pushing. I'm going to show another video. This one is on day 8 of the situation, similar to that one you saw day 6. Y'all check this out. Huh? It's the music for me. It's the music for me. It's already ominous because it's dark as a bitch out there. But they add that extra suspenseful music to it too. Nelly Nail says, sounds like the purge. They purging all right. Hotshot said, force out for the land grab. There's a lot of talks about that. There's a lot of talks about that because I've seen some clips and some footage pre this situation where there's a lot of vacant buildings and things in Gary, Indiana, or whatever the case may be. So it's all making sense, whether it's making sense for y'all or not. To me, it's making some sense that it shouldn't be. Y'all check this next video out though, huh? Y'all check this out. Why don't you?
I need y'all to understand what's happening in Gary, Indiana right now. There's some misinformation, so let's get the facts straight. August 11th, a terrible storm hit northern Illinois and northwest Indiana. The past week, the storms continued through the Midwest and Ohio Valley, with tornadoes, destructive winds, and power outages. In Gary, 36,000 people lost power and are still without power 8 days later, and more than 100,000 in northwest Indiana. Collapsed trees on houses, power lines in the street, not to mention all the food gone bad. And yes, Gary is mostly black, about 80%. So why hasn't this been national news? But changing that now. The first step is increasing awareness. The more people know what's happening, the harder it is to be overlooked. I'll be looking into official resources and sharing them here to help. This is my hometown, family, and friends I grew up with. Help any way you can. We refuse to let Gary be invisible. Ain't that right, Mike?
Factor Mundo. Sarah Lynn, she done came on there and what's goody like the mob. Good morning to ye. It's a crazy situation. Definitely a crazy situation. Hold on, let me make sure. Where's this video? What is this video from? Hold up. Hold up. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. Isn't she lovely? Yeah. It's just amazing, right? Y'all saw that list in that other video where they saying all the areas in the timeline of them repairing power. And like he said, Gary and a couple other locations, which are predominantly black and or Latino areas, weren't on that list, at least the list that we saw. At least the list that we saw. Tried it with Flint in the water. Guess they didn't get the results yet wanted. So now this. I heard there's another place down south. I think Jackson, Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken, is a similar water situation down there that is yet to be repaired properly too. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Mike 313 said the August 14, 2003 North American blackout was caused by a software bug in the alarm system of First Energy Corporation in Ohio, which prevented operators from seeing overloaded, sagging trans lines. In this situation, they said it was a tornado or something that came through. In this situation, they said it was a tornado, allegedly, that came through and wreaked havoc. Sarah Lynn said the problem is there are more and more violent storms all over. The infrastructure is super old all over the United States. That's a fact. But you would think, though, Sarah Lynn, in this day and age, they would be mentally prepared. They would be on paper prepared for these emergencies. Now, you can't dictate Mother Nature and the things that go on with natural disasters, of course, but there should be some contingency programs in place. The same way in my region and surrounding regions, when wintertime comes and there's talks about snow and snowstorms and ice storms, that they put trucks out there and fill them up with the sand salt mixture, or whatever the case may be, and pre-salt the highways and streets, or whatever the case may be, and be on standby in case they gotta plow some shit. You would think that because these systems are old, they would put a measure in place, one, to fix them, to get them up to date, technology wise, and or have a contingency plan in case Mother Nature does what she does and nature does what it does and a natural disaster happens. You would think. She said Western Pennsylvania was knocked out with bad storms last year. Man, Zolan, good morning to ye. Braddock has old infrastructure. They had, what's that? Cups covering the power lines outside my windows when I moved in. What? What kind of bullshittery? Yeah, could be. Doge got rid of all the safeguard programs, man. Man, oh man. Some places don't have it in the budget because local infrastructure is paid for by local taxes. It's definitely a jacked up situation, and it's sad. Just imagine if that was you and your people. Mike 313 being from Detroit sound like he'd been through it at a time when he said it happened in Detroit or whatever back in 2003. I don't wish that on nobody. I don't even wish that on my enemies. I don't wish that on people that I don't get along with or whatever the case may be, because you'll have people that succumb to these situations from not being able to get proper treatment, not being able to have their oxygen machines and other machines running because there is no power. Some people can't afford generators to keep their refrigerators running or keep this and that going or keep their houses cool in the heat or hot or warm in the cold or whatever the case may be. And it's a sad thing. And in times like this, you would think that there would be more of it being shared, but we share the bullshittery all the time. We share the bullshittery like it's nobody's business. We need to get the word out here, because if it ain't, we all we got. That's the at the end of the day, we are all we got. A tree fell on my house while I was listening to a live during a storm last November. Damn it, Jim. I'm glad that you are okay, that you and your young ones made it out okay, or whatever the case may be, because it could have went a whole nother way. Listen. Hold on, let me see if I can find this real quick. before I move on and mosey on. Where is it at? Okay, that's what that was. Okay, now I'm good. I know where I'm at. Begs the question: if we're so violent, why aren't people going crazy coming up while the power's out? Now they are saying that certain people are ransacking and going in people's houses looking for generators and food, and that's a natural normal human response to not knowing where their next meal gonna come from and or how to power certain things. So that they say that is going on. That doesn't mean that it is factual or reality or whatever the case may be. But yeah, generally, I get what you're saying, Hotshot, meaning like people ain't just riding just to be riding and acting, indecent and all the things or whatever the case may be. But people are really just trying to survive this thing and get through it or whatever the case may be. I don't want to over inundate you with this because it can be triggering for some folks or whatever the case may be, for people that have been through it, people that are that suffer from anxiety and have PTSD and are easily fearful of things. I don't want to trigger people and have them just sitting at home worried that and sitting in fear like this may happen to me, this may happen to us. It's better to know and have, be prepared mentally. And maybe if you can take precautions and be prepared in actuality or whatever the case may be. If you're living in an area that's prone to possible tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes and things, to have yourself what they call a bug out bag, something that you can leave the house with quickly and or supplies that you can utilize in the house in times like this, candles or whatever the case may be, LED lights or whatever the case may be that you can use for a good while, that don't take a lot of juice or whatever the case may be, that have their own batteries or whatever the case may be. Solar powered portable generators or personal generators that can power up your computers, your laptops, your phones, maybe even be powerful enough to keep power to your refrigerator or your freezers or freezers so your food could be good or whatever the case may be. I get it, times are hard and everybody don't have the money to do it. However, talking about these things isn't to have you in a state of fear, but more importantly, get you in a state of preparedness, because in this day and age, anything's liable to happen. Anything. You hear me? I had to pass out some of my emergency rechargeable bulbs to my neighbors and fam last year. I felt bad. Yeah. Generators and food, going in houses, power going out like that here. I'm in the pawn shop, no one-stop shop. Hot shot said, I'm going to have at it. You hear me? That's a fact, because they got everything from armaments on around, generators and everything. That's a fact, Hot Shot. The words of Hot Shot are his alone. I don't indulge or condone anything that he just said, but I understand what he's saying. They have all kinds of rechargeable LED bulbs. You can even light in your hand during a storm. That's a fact. That's a fact. A good solar panel is good too. That's a fact. During the 2-week outage, I was using my outside solar lights inside too. That part. But some of us, caught off in social media, caught off in the things that are frivolous, that we don't pay attention or like watch the news or stay abreast of possible situations. And somebody was saying earlier, sometimes the systems are antiquated. Even the warning systems, the sirens that they post that they're supposed to play when a bad storm is coming to tell you to take shelter or bunker down or whatever the case may be. Some of those are antiquated and don't fire off when they need to or whatever the case may be. That's why we have to do our own due diligence and stay abreast of things instead of staying abreast always of the latest fight, the latest bullshiggery, the latest flicks of the girl with the big buns, or the latest flick of the fella with his shirt off, with his print paws, no diddy, you know what I'm saying? The thirst traps, in other words, or the things that you know come with being entertained or whatever the case may be, which is cool, but also make sure you educate yourself and prepare yourself for anything that you possibly can think of, huh? If you along shorelines, especially along the coastlines of, you know, the United States, be prepared for possible hurricanes and things. If you are living in the Midwest, specifically along what they call it, Tornado Alley and places like that, that you're prepared in case the certain things happen. If you live in areas of states where earthquakes are prevalent, to be prepared. Now, in certain situations, in certain places, tornadoes touch down, hurricanes drift over land and hit areas that aren't normally affected. Earthquakes suddenly and randomly hit areas that they're not known to hit. It's happened over here. You know, you got to learn to adapt and deal with those in the moment. But for places and spaces where you know shit can go down, you definitely need to do something to prepare yourself, even on a fixed or limited budget. Look, how should I say, gold, all that. I have a solar panel with outlets that you can plug phones in and stuff. Exactly. I have the rechargeable bulbs in every room, so I didn't even realize it was a blackout. There you go. And see, that's what I'm talking about, being prepared, because you just never know. And the rechargeable bulbs, the LED lights, are way safer than candles, because candles can burn and cause fires and things of that nature. However, these rechargeable bulbs and LED lights, even the LED little cheap tea lights you can get from like the dollar store and shit like that, they offer a form of light to keep you lit in the dark or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying, huh? But I don't want to bring you down. I don't want to bring you down, just to say, listen, pass the word around, whether it be you pass this show on to 1 to 7 of your friends on social media or in their direct inboxes or whatever the case may be. Grab some posts about this very thing. Grab some reels about this very thing, whether you download it and re-upload it, or you share it, or do a duet or a stitch, or you put it in your stories or whatever the case may be. Get the word out there, because there's a lot of people that still don't know that this is happening, that people have been without power, food, and other things for 7-8 days or whatever the case may be. Get the word out there. You would want them to do it for you. You would want them to do it for you. I'm going to push on with the push on, huh? I got 2 more videos and I'm about to do it for the day. But 2 more upbeat, this one here is about growing up in the 80s and 90s. Some of y'all wouldn't understand, and some of y'all are going to go back down memory lane. Huh? Y'all check this video out, huh? And some of you young whippersnappers don't know what the hell you missed, huh? But I'm going to show you a little something with this.
Before the internet, life just felt different. Saturday mornings meant cartoons and cereal. You woke up early, grabbed a bowl of Frosted Flakes or Fruity Pebbles, and watched cartoons for hours before your parents even woke up. Then everybody went outside. You rode bikes through the neighborhood with no phones, no GPS, and no way for anybody to track where you were. If you wanted to find your friends, you looked for the bikes. We played basketball until the streetlights came on. Football in random yards. Made prank calls on house phones. Passed notes in school. And drank water straight from the hose during summer. Friday nights meant Blockbuster, arcades, mall food courts, and skating rinks packed with people actually hanging out together. Nobody cared about followers. Nobody was trying to go viral. We were just living in the moment. Parents would tell you, be home before the streetlights come on. And somehow, everybody listened. Kids today are connected online. But back then, we were connected to the real world. Growing up in the 90s before the internet felt different. Back then, life was so...
And hold on, and I know this was a male's perspective, but we can't forget about the double dutch, the girls doing hair, playing with dolls. We can't forget about the girls in their chairs. all the things or whatever the case may be, the girls getting together to watch the fellas play the basketball and all that, the girls doing them, you know what I'm saying? And so much more. So much more when it was outside, time to be outside. Some of y'all youngins can't fathom what that look like because y'all don't know what it means to hang out outside for the most part, unless you're going to some damn overpriced concert or this, that, and the third. So much going on, it's hard to keep up. That's a fact. Man, this was my childhood exactly. Little dude even looks like me. Charlie also, was that you? Was that you? Not nightmare fuel. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid. Man, listen. Because back then we all took everything for granted. We took everything for granted. We didn't know how much things would change and how things wouldn't be the same as far as how we communicated, how we partied, how we hung with each other, and all the things that building friendships and relationships would be forever changed because of these internet streets and or the authenticity of people being masqueraded, placed behind the veil or behind a mask of how people present themselves and are assumed to be or presumed to be, should I say, on these internet streets or whatever the case may be, where you had to be outside, you had to be who you was, whether you was a nerd, whether you was a jock, whether you was a bully, whether you was an athlete, whether you was the cool kid or the cool girl, whether you was the pretty girl, whether you was the ugly girl, whether you was the handsome youngin or the ugly youngin, whether you was the fat kid, the skinny kid, whether you was all of these things and more, or a combination of two or three of what I've already said. You had to be who you were. You wanted to meet a girl, you had to talk to one. Ladies, you wanted to get you a fella, you ain't necessarily had to talk to, but you had to make sure you was in the presence or around, or you had somebody hook y'all up or whatever the case may be. Before all the hoopla of the steakhouses and the ritzy places, the Capitol Grills, the STKs, the Del Frescos, the Ruth Chris, and all the high dollar, high ticket items, gifts, and things were really a thing. We enjoyed ourselves and each other. With a couple of dollars back then, we could get a bunch of chips, a bunch of juices, break them down. Somebody got candy. We broke it down and shared it amongst our homies, amongst our friends. Like in the video, we passed notes. Do you like me? Check yes, check no. Will you be my girlfriend? Check yes or check no. Can I get a kiss later? Check yes, check no. Some of y'all don't know nothing about that. And for some of y'all, it might seem like passe or whatever the case may be, or like, that ain't about nothing. But in the moment, it helped create the personalities that you see nowadays. It helped create strong bonds that no matter if you ain't around the person for years, that y'all can get back around each other and act like y'all didn't miss a beat. These people nowadays, they can't operate like that. They get frustrated, or they so antisocial or socially awkward. Now they talk about people that are on the spectrum that have autism. Some of them are socially awkward, but some of you all that have not and are not diagnosed with autism or any other deficiency or whatever the case may be are very socially awkward because you don't know how to interact with people in a real way. You know how to interact, clickety, click, 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 type, post, and even maybe an occasional FaceTime, but you don't know how to interact with people in the real world in a real way. And then even when people get together now, it's totally different. House parties ain't house parties no more. Hell, a lot of the skating rinks are shutting down or something else or whatever the case may be. A lot of people don't like to go kick it at the park or the playground now. Maybe because of violence, maybe because that just ain't their thing no more. I played double dutch in Brooklyn, did it on Tuesday at Grand Army Plaza at Prospect Park with an IG group. Shout out to that, Cotton Candy. You should put the footage up, Cotton Candy. Let us see you jumping in and out of double dutch. Riding my bike from off Crenshaw to the Coliseum to go swimming. That part, The good old days. That part right there, trying to make it to the front porch before the street lights came on, like it was a base. That's a fact. Listen. I've told stories, and I know y'all think I be capping or just stretching the truth, but I know me personally as a little youngin' went on real life missions. That's why the movie Stand By Me, I love that movie so much because it just reminds me of me and my younger youth. Because me and my boy Zeke, we used to go on real life missions throughout Uptown and through Rock Creek Park and all the things and just have adventures and have fun. Have fun. Some good fun and some mischievous fun we ain't had no business doing, but have fun. The adventures I had when I lived up in Summit Hills and all the things that I, talked about with certain games we played there and things of that nature. Things we did around the schoolyard that a lot of kids don't get to do because a lot of the playgrounds ain't playgrounds no more. A lot of the playgrounds around school, especially elementary schools, aren't playgrounds anymore. I know you remember us walking to Banneker, Upshur, and Tacoma pools. We had a ball in our. That's a fact. Upshur pool, Tacoma pool, hell, and we used to get and Banneker. But I'm gonna add one more, Nelly. Now we used to get on that bus and go to Wilson pool too, where they had the big high dive too. Yeah. Yeah, and Wilson had the indoor blicky. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, indeed. Those were the days. Listen, some of y'all that think that, us seasoned individuals are out of touch with life. No, we really got to touch life. Pause. Some of y'all are out of touch with life because y'all don't know what it means to touch life for real. Some of y'all have coined the phrase or utilized the phrase about being outside. But some of y'all, I don't care if y'all are involved with street activity or other things, y'all ain't really outside or been outside for real. And don't understand what that really looked like or felt like. And the bonds that were created, the experiences that were made, that, were experienced, the memories that were created, that will forever be ingrained in our minds till we leave this earth, or whatever the case may be. The parks, pools, and basketball courts stayed packed in the summer. That's a fact. Creating rap groups, breakdance crews, battling other crews in the neighborhood, man. Listen, shout out to Finesse MC. Shout out to Mo O'Brien. Shout out to Kelly from around that way now. You probably don't remember Kelly tall ass or whatever the case may be. Barry used to beatbox. Back down memory lane. Listen. It was a time, not just in my city of DC and surrounding areas, but it surely was a time in even your city and your state and your town and your hood. It was definitely a time when the neighbor or your parents' friends saw you somewhere you weren't supposed to, man, and got on your tail, paws, and called home or took you home to your parents. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Remember they were in a group called Danger Zone, Kelly and Barry. That's a fact, Nelly. I wonder how Kelly doing. I ain't seen him in years. Of course, I've seen Barry. You was on vocals? Lord. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. Listen, it's so many memories that I could just... But y'all wouldn't believe them all. Y'all would think, y'all be like, Phil Wellen, Phil capping, Phil telling stories. Phil ain't keeping it 100, but it's so many things, good, bad, and or indifferent. Lord, I should sit down and write a book one day. And I think some of the things that I've been through could make it to if not a major motion picture, to a damn Tubi flick or Netflix joint or whatever the case may be. I've been through some things, y'all. I'm just glad, even with the little bit of salt, pepper, the grays or whatever, that I don't look like all that I've been through, huh? I don't. But I'm gonna keep it pushing. This next one was so cute to me. Little child came in the room asking for something. Dad said, I'm saying, I can't do it right now. I ain't got it. But this dialogue is something different. Y'all check this out, huh? I know this is going to warm your heart, put a smile on your face. I know it was.
Daddy, can we get ice cream?
Nah, little man. Daddy broke as hell.
Who did this to you?
Nah, little bro, I ain't got no bread right now. That's all.
They broke your bread. It's okay, Daddy. We take you to the hospital. They fix broke people and maybe your bread too.
Listen, that warmed my heart and my soul right there. He said they broke your bread. You go to the hospital, they fix broke people too. I said, oh man, that right there out of the mouths of babes. And the times they ain't say nothing to your people because they were where they shouldn't have been. Facts. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, GMGers and GMGS, the point of the matter in this whole special edition is to, one, show support for various aspects of us. Carmelo Anthony situation, pray on that. Nolan Wells, so that there's justice in that. In other people of other ethnicities and even your own that might be getting dealt prejudiciously, racially, through racism and bigotry and the unprecedented tactics of being kidnapped by so-called law enforcement, by educating yourself and even within your budget, preparing yourself for the unthinkable, especially if you're in areas where things are known to go wrong, but even having some sense to know that even if you're not in those areas, that things can still go awry one way or another, but to also in the end, to have some humanity, to remember the good things or the things that are important, even though some of y'all don't know certain aspects of things. You thought that was AI? No, that was a real one, I believe. But to also remember the simple things in life and enjoy each other. Enjoy each other. Have some empathy, have some sympathy, have some smarts about your situation. Be philanthropic if you can. Live life. Live towards your purpose. Pursue your dreams and passions, the good ones, and hopefully they align with your purpose. I know this was a special day because usually I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in this situation, I've been looking at this story since I think early yesterday, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live today to talk about it or whatever the case may be. I'm going to get off here because I know that case is about to happen with Carmelo Anthony. I'm going to see if they televising any of it or whatever the case may be. Also, the Tupac Shakur case is continuing on against Keefe D or whatever the case may be in in Las Vegas. There's a lot of things going on, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all pray for them people in Gary, Indiana and surrounding areas. And I think it's East Illinois, whatever the case may be as well. Promote, reshare, repurpose the reels, the shorts, in your story, the posts surrounding these things. Don't wait till it's you and your family to want people to do it for you. Don't wait. Stand in support of, stand in the gap for, stand in solidarity with people, because we're living in trying times, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why this episode 344 was named Where is the Outrage? Is there a purposeful silence keeping them from getting help? And that could be applied to a lot of things. The Big Phil story starring Tom Cruise is crazy. Now we would have to get what's his name, Terrence Howard or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Somebody light skinned or whatever the case may be. Hey man, what's up, man? I'm from uptown, man. The DC hustle and flow. What's up, man? I'm just saying, man. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you was inspired by some things. Hopefully you were taken aback by some things and affected by some things that were shown here today. More importantly, with the last 2 videos that I played, hopefully you smiled a little bit and that you continue to smile today and make today a great day and plan, plot, and strategize so that if there's any bullshittery like going on in Gary, Indiana or anywhere else, or that you allowed to breathe, inhale and exhale, and wake up, that you make it a better day than today. With that being said, smile, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know what it might do for somebody. More importantly, love on somebody on purpose, with purpose. And last but not least, I'm not anti-you. I'm pro-me with an emphasis on building we. Let that marinate your melon till the next time we could chop it up and have a tay-to-tay. Until that day, I'm gonna holler. And guess what? And still I rise. I'm out. Hey.
We're one big happy family. We're GOG. One big happy family. Hey, hey, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you come back again. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's GMG and Big Phil Speech. Yeah.